With the 7,000 islands of the Philippines full of natural resources, it is not surprising that many countries covet, wage wars, and colonize the so-called Pearl of the Orient. The country, Philippines, was subjected to colonization by the Japanese, American, and Spaniards for a total of 381 years. These powerhouse countries destroyed a lot of artifacts and evidences of how the prehistoric Filipinos lived. Nonetheless, they still contributed to the diversity of culture experienced presently by Filipinos. One way we know this culture is the language, manner, belief, and most of all, religion. The culture of these colonizers integrated itself in each of the Filipinos that it has now become their way of life. How the Filipinos transitioned and changed culture is just a small part of the Philippine history. What if we go beyond the colonial period of the Philippines? What if we go back to the prehistoric time where not much is recorded and observed? What could have happened back then? What tools did our Filipino ancestors use to survive? How did they live? Though not much is recorded, there are still artifacts that have been discovered and are still yet to be found. These artifacts will help us unravel and discover what happened in the very past, leading to our reconstruction of the Philippine history. And the right place to start is to look into the University of San Carlos Museum.
Here in the University of San Carlos, we take archaeology seriously.
We take the lead in excavating artifacts from all over the nation. By doing so, we can understand how prehistoric Filipinos live, and we can make discoveries never before known.
Here we can see some earthenwares used by our Filipino ancestors, dating way back 500 to 1400 AD. These are used for cooking and storing water.
Earthenwares have really simple structures. They're typically cylindrical. But how are they made? The prehistoric Filipinos painstakingly beat stone, clays, and quartz just to form the material to make the wares by hand. After that laborious process is the heating of the wares for 7 days. This only implies that Filipinos already had the knowledge on how to make these essential things even before the Chinese came.
Filipinos does not only have the intelligence to make objects.
They are very meticulous in what they wear, specifically the ornaments they wear.
This is what they call a pangolapa. The prehistoric Filipino men wear this because they believe it will give them a boost of power, especially during hunting.
Our Filipino ancestors are prominent in hunting.
They develop a way to hunt bigger animals such as boars for their consumption rather than to scavenge. Tools that they have used are sharp stones, spears, shield, and even axe.
It is really amazing to how they were able to make these tools. Yes, they use stones against stones, but take consideration of the patience that is needed to make one.
Aside from hunting, Filipinos also engage themselves in agriculture. The dominant crop they plant is rice. They settle themselves near bodies of water for better irrigation.
Right here is what they call a kamnulang or a rice cutter. They use this to cut rice stem by stem and make bundles out of it.
Filipinos love rice so much that they have a god to worship it.
Particularly on Ifugao, they call it bulol. It is involved in the ritualistic aspect of rice production, from planting to the safekeeping of harvest. It is carved from narrow tree, sometimes even stone.
We all know that Anito and Anitas are the gods and goddesses of the Philippines. But Anito and Anita can also refer to the dead souls. That is why burial in the ancient time of the Philippines is carefully done.
Filipinos believe that if they do not take care of the burial of a certain someone, bad things will happen. That is why they have primary and secondary burials. For primary burial, they use boat-shaped coffins or big earthen jars. After that, they put it in the cremation burial jars as the secondary burial vessels.
The University of San Carlos Museum is a picture book of the history of Filipinos, and it serves to enlarge one's comprehension of what Filipinos has done and what they can do. The universe of man, like the universe of nature, extends its boundary daily before our eyes. And it is in our museum that the story is a place for the visitors to come. The University of San Carlos Museum stimulates the curiosity of every student. It opens up beautiful products of nature and of art. It shows what Filipinos has been able to create out of clay, stone, or metal, or by the use of pigment. This museum also provides recreational, intellectual, and aesthetic enjoyment in every student. At its deepest level, this museum serves as a collective memory bank of every Filipino achievement through a collection of objects, artifacts, and many more. Amidst the Philippines having more than 7,000 islands, there still remains a lot to discover and a lot of opportunities to gather more pieces of the puzzle. The Philippines also came to be as it is now since it is formed from the tectonic events. There could be a challenge to this as some islands are submerged due to the rising sea level.
We could possibly discover new artifacts just lying underneath it that could help us reconstruct a bigger picture of the prehistory of the Philippines more than meets the eye.